Dating a Nigerian with no papers. I'll keep it a buck. I met my husband online. We got married 3 months after dating. We both lived in the same city. He was parking cars for a living, so he was a valet. He did not have a career. I had a career, he did not. I had my own place. He was living with like 2 or 3 different people, so he was not really settled at the time. We've been married now 21 years. We have 2 children. But when I first met him, it was definitely different. I had a lot of people in my ear telling me, oh my God, he's using you for papers. He's lying. He probably has a family in Nigeria. Nigerians know how to lie. They're not this, they're not that. He probably hasn't been to school. Just all types of stuff. So I had a lot of people in my ear. But for me, it was new because I had never dated a foreigner before. So I had no idea about papers and what that meant. Like, papers, what are you talking about? Papers for what? So I had to quickly educate myself on what it meant to be with somebody that didn't have papers. So within that 3-month time span, we really got the opportunity to sit down, talk, date, and get to know each other. So I made an effort to kind of block out the noise and really get to know him outside of his documentation situation. I knew I wanted to get married. I knew the type of man I wanted to marry. I knew what I wanted to feel when I started dating and getting married to someone. And sitting down with him, I quickly realized he was a very nice person. He was kind-hearted. He was educated, had a great educational background, came from a very good family, just an overall good person. And so I liked him as a person outside of his documentation situation. Even though I'm telling everybody all these positive things, there was still a lot of negativity around marrying someone that, or being with a foreigner that did not have papers, and especially a Nigerian with no papers. There was a stigma around that. And I had no clue, at the time. But, after being in the situation, I decided, and we decided, because of how I felt about him as a person, to go forward and get married, right? And like I said, instinctually, I felt good about it. There was no hesitation. I didn't have any second thoughts. He was just a really good person, and I just had a great feeling about him. So we made that decision. And I thank God that it ended up working out. We've been married, we have a great life together, and it worked out well. So ladies, what I would say, if you're dating a Nigerian or any foreigner without papers, do your due diligence. If it does not feel right, it's probably not right.
This is from an American speaking about marrying foreigners. And she used the Nigerian she's been married to for 21 years as a case study. Because most of you are very funny. When it comes to generalizing, you just generalize things without thinking. And then you expect when people react to now be selective in reaction. No. If you generalized that Nigerians are this and that, when we are responding to your country, we will not all of a sudden you will not become a moral judge to now tell us how to react. We will not tolerate that. I tell you this and I kid you not. We will not do what? Tolerate that. You can't teach us how to react. No, you can't. Because when you were doing your own, being disrespectful, none of us came for you. So you see, you can't say Nigerians are this. Talk about the individual you had issue with. Don't talk about a whole country, because you cannot. Don't talk about a whole country, Nigeria, that is better than where you come from. Some of you, you know yourselves. I don't want to mention that particular country. You know yourselves. Everything relationship is about the person, about the upbringing. Most times the upbringing is even better, but peer pressure can make a man misbehave. So you cannot now think that it is the whole of Nigerians that are the problem. No, you can't think that way. Nah. Date people, study them, understand them. Don't come and say Nigerians are this. I'm so happy that this Black American was able to say her experience, the way it happened, people coming to tell her things, and she not paying attention to it. Most people have missed their true love because of what people said. Why not go into the relationship? Like I used to tell people, you don't need to sleep with a man. When I say this, people are thinking I'm being archaic, I'm being backward. When you meet a man, don't sleep with him, because women are more emotional. So once you sleep with that man, you won't be able to think straight. You won't be able to take the right decision. So don't sleep with him. Date him with your eyes open so that you see the things he does, how he treats you, especially when you're not feeling well. Especially when you're not feeling well. How does he treat you? How does he take your matter? Does he project you well? Does he want you to always make it? By the time you see all of this, you cannot decide whether you should go ahead or not. Marriage is a risk. Let me just tell you the honest truth. Marriage is a big risk because number one, you don't even know who you are going to marry if they have mental issues in their home. You don't know who you are going to marry if they have anger issues in their home. You don't know who you are going to marry if they have they are kleptomanic in their home, in their family. You don't know. So marriage is a risk. Study yourselves other than sleeping together.